between Besiktas Sompo, Japan, and SIG Strasbourg. It's game day number 3 of the 3rd season of the Basketball Champions League. And Group D has been quite an electrifying group, as you see there. Sinan Kapahi warming up, as well as Mike Green. The Turkish side 1-1 so far in Group D. Meanwhile, Strasbourg sharing top spots at 2-0 ahead of Wednesday's action in the BCL this week. And you can see this will be the first game, followed by 3 other matchups in Group D. At the moment, still Strasbourg want to stay undefeated. It's a group that has 3 winless teams. Meanwhile, Virtus Bologna and Prometheus are still also undefeated. So a chance to have 3 teams in the group remain 3-0 or undefeated after 3 weeks, which just shows how competitive this particular group is. Week in, week out, anyone can pick up a W at home, on the road, and that's what makes the Basketball Champions League so great. And we see there the standings. So Bologna at the top, followed by Strasbourg and Prometheus Patras. And the French team trying to do something that hasn't been done too often. This will be the 10th time in Basketball Champions League history that a French team plays in Turkey. And the French teams have only won 4 of those 10 games. So Strasbourg looking for win number 5 here tonight. Meanwhile, Besiktas have won 13 of their last 16 games at home. And 9 of those 13 wins have been by more than double digits. So Quentin Serron in Strasbourg, alongside Marty Collins, Ivan Buva will look to turn things around. And that's the roster that you're going to see here in front of you. Marty Collins, the veteran, kind of a wing guard type of player. Florent Petrus, of course, the ultimate veteran, 37 years of age. And Coach Vincent Collet has a number of players that he's used in his French national team program on this roster. And the international players consist of Marty Collins, Quentin Serron, Mike Green, while the rest of the guys represent France. Meanwhile, for Besiktas, you see there Phil Pressey, the former Missouri and Boston Celtic player, has been electrifying for Besiktas. He's joined in the backcourt by Sapahi's actually, yes, he is going to play number 25, but we're going to see Jason Rich for the first time in this young Basketball Champions League season. Jason Rich, a 32-year-old shooting guard out of Florida State, hasn't had any action due to injury, but he will play here tonight. So we'll see. It's kind of a game, I'd say, 1st to 70 here tonight. These are 2 teams that have struggled to put points on the board relative to the other 30 teams in the BCL. Strasbourg currently 23rd in scoring, Besiktas 27th. As we take a look at the player introductions for the visiting team. So again, Strasbourg led in scoring so far by Nicholas Lang. The 28-year-old comes in at 20 points per game on 61% shooting, including 9 of 16 from 3. So look out for number 15, Nicholas Lang. And he also has help in the front court, courtesy of Ali Traore, number 24, the 6'10" power forward, averaging almost 19 points per game. Meanwhile, for Besiktas, home team getting introduced in front of a relatively modest crowd. We do know the Turkish fans appreciate their basketball. And this is a team that's been led in scoring by number 26, 6'9" center, Ivan Buva, the Croatian, 17 points per game, also giving you almost 5 rebounds. And also you see there the big man, Robin Benzig, 13 points per game. The big German, 6'10". Meanwhile, in the backcourt, they'll be counting on Sapahi for his defense, but especially Phil Pressey and the veteran Erkan Vesiloglu. Vesiloglu averaging 11 points per game on 50% from 3. Also can't forget about Joe Alexander, the Israeli / American player who has been around quite a while now, since his Milwaukee Bucks days. Averages about 5 points per game. Hasn't shot the ball extremely well as of yet, but obviously it's still very early on in the season. And meanwhile, we're going to see this lob. Not quite on the warm-up alley-oop. And again, for all you fans who are just tuning into the Basketball Champions League for the first time, this is the third season. 32 teams will contest throughout the regular season. They'll play in 4 groups of 8 teams each, and the 4 best-ranked teams of each group will advance to the playoffs. Meanwhile, the 5th and 6th place finishers will head to the FIBA Europe Cup playoffs, and the 7th and 8th place teams will be eliminated. So you always want to stay in that top half of your group, in the top 4, and those top 4 teams at the end of the season will play in a home and away games of the round of 16 ahead of the quarterfinals, which ultimately determines the final 4. So Besiktas will look to protect their home court. Again, this is a team that's used to being at the top, but we'll take a look at the Strasbourg starting 5 here in just a moment. Strasbourg, who's really been relying on the 3-pointers, but before that, let's introduce the referees for today's game. From Croatia, Dozaj Serdan, Serbian Marici Sasa, and from Macedonia, Mitrovski Igor. As I was saying, Strasbourg, 3rd out of the 32 teams in 3-point shooting at 41%. And you know that they'll be looking at Marty Collins and Mike Green to produce 3-pointers, as well as Nicholas Lang. And those 3 will be in the starting 5 alongside Ali Traore and Florent Pietrus. And Coach Vincent Collet, of course, also doubles up as the head coach of the French national team. France currently vying for a spot in the 2018 World Cup. Vincent Collet has led them through the World Cup qualifiers. And meanwhile, for Besiktas, it's Erkan Vesiloglu, Joe Alexander, Kyle Gibson, who's really been struggling, but will look to pick it up today, Kenan Sapahi, and of course, Ivan Buva, their leading scorer. And they're led by Coach Ivanovic Dusko. This is a Besiktas team that beat Medi Beirut 78-70, but then lost to Neptunas Klaipeda 78-63. So looking to get back over 500 here tonight. Besiktas currently 1-2 in the Turkish league, which is 9th place here in Turkey. Meanwhile, Strasbourg also not firing on all cylinders. Back in the Pro A League in France, currently 3-3 in 11th place after just losing to Levallois over the weekend by double digits. So both of these teams will really be looking for a big win. Obviously, every single game in the Basketball Champions League comes with a high level of magnitude. And Mike Green, for a lot of you fans, quite familiar. He's enjoyed playing in Besiktas in the past. Back in his Pınar Karşıyaka days, he played against Besiktas in the round of 16 back in 2017 and was the leading scorer in both of those games with 25 and 22 points. So not too worried about playing Besiktas. Obviously spent last year with AEK Athens, the defending champions. And we'll see if he can bring some of that championship culture here to France as he looks to lead this team to the playoffs. Meanwhile, Besiktas will be looking to bounce back. They haven't been at home much, but they do get a 3-game homestand coming up in a few weeks. And of course, they'll look to take full advantage of this home game here today. So we're just moments away now from the opening tip here in Istanbul. We are live once again. It is a Group D matchup between Besiktas in white and Strasbourg in blue. And the crossover dribble finds Suede Traore, who gets the ball deflected, and it's a steal for Sapahi. Coming down on the fast break, attacks the basket, short on the layup, but he gets fouled and he'll look to get 2 free throws. Sloppy start there for Strasbourg. We'll see, it looked like Sapahi was going for the tip, which is why he'll be shooting free throws. Foul goes against number 1, Marty Collins. Sapahi short on the first free throw. Again, Kenan Sapahi, just 23 years of age, but really was thrust into the basketball spotlight as the starting point guard for Turkey at the 2017 Eurobasket, and that free throw will count despite the lane violation. But Sapahi has been trusted early on in his career to really lead the way. Always puts pressure on the point guards in the backcourt. Meanwhile, here's Pietrus. The handoff to Collins. Collins slow behind the back dribble inside of Traore. Puts his shoulder down and misses a little jump hook. Besiktas looking to run. Besiktas can't make the catch easily. Joe Alexander now has it on the block. Oh, nice spin move and another foul. 2 more free throws to come for Besiktas. And it looks like that foul is going to be against Pietrus. And you see the surprise on his face. So 2 more free throws on the second possession for Besiktas. First one is good. And here come the fans. Don't let the empty seats fool you. They will bring the energy as Besiktas goes 2 for 2 from the line. Meanwhile, Mike Green getting pressure from Sapahi again. You can see how far they forced the Strasbourg offense to start. Laying no real space. Kyle Gibson all over him. And the ball's deflected out of bounds. 5 seconds on the shot clock. So Green will inbound it. Over to Traore. Collins will have to put it up. Gets to the elbow. Good contest from Alexander. Leaves the shot short. Buva with the rebound. So 3-0 early on here in the first quarter. Here's Kyle Gibson, who, again, has only been averaging about 1 point per game despite being a shooting guard. Buva has been their go-to guy, and he can't finish the running hook. Here comes Green. Looking for a little bit of space. The runner is real short. Follows his own shot, but gets called for the out-of-bounds violation. So Green kind of miscalculated the distance there, it seems, because that was incredibly short. Almost like he thought about throwing the lob and was forced to shoot it. Here comes Sapahi now for Besiktas. Buva setting multiple screens, but Strasbourg in somewhat of a zone look. And Alexander catch and shoot from the baseline, rolls in and out. Collins calls out the double high screens. Oh, nice pick and roll, but it's a good defense from Alexander. Throws the ball up. Gibson has to chase it down. And they go inside to Buva. So Strasbourg still scoreless, and Buva, this jump hook falls for him, and it's the first field goal of the game after 2.5 minutes. So inside, Traore has a size advantage on Alexander, takes advantage of it on that possession, and just flips the ball in. Traore, who's averaging, again, 18.5 points per game on 67% shooting, and you can see why on that last play. Bit of a mismatch for Besiktas as Gibson knocks down the jumper, and that's got to be a good sign for him. Again, Gibson, 31 years old, so he's been around the block, but struggling so far in the young BCL season. Here's Lang now, turns the corner. Green thought about the three, pulls it back out. Nice little hesitation, but he throws the ball out of bounds. It's another turnover and a empty possession for Strasbourg as Coach Collet urging his guys on. So 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Besiktas with the early 7-2 lead. We talked about this potentially being a defensive battle. Both teams in the bottom 10 in terms of scoring per game. Strasbourg has been known for their defense, only conceding 67 points per game, which is the second best defensive record in the BCL this season. Meanwhile, Sapahi with a nice little lefty loop, and he gets his first field goal after knocking down the first point at the free throw line here tonight. Here's Marty Collins now. He pulls up into a jumper, no good. Ball gets tipped around. Alexander comes away with it. Sapahi, not known as a three-point shooter. Besiktas inside the Buva, and the ball's deflected out of bounds. Will stay down with Besiktas, and we're going to have our first couple substitutions of the game as Traore will step out, and they're going to bring Nzuli, and I believe that's Vincent Pota. Never mind, that's Youssoufa Fall into the game. Number 19 kicks in for the first time. You see him running down the floor. Youssoufa, 7'3", so goes right at Buva, and what a way to start the game with a friendly roll. Youssoufa Fall, who I believe is the younger brother of Mustafa Fall. Here's Buva, hands it off to Gibson. Little skip pass, Besiktas lines up the three, no good. Nice hustle from Alexander, and he creates a second possession with the back tip. Meanwhile, Buva looking to go right at Fall, drops his shoulder, and finishes over the big man. Another basket for Ivan Buva. And Buva giving up almost 7 inches on Fall. Meanwhile, Mike Green can't connect on the jump shot. Fall gets the offensive rebound, a nice little feed to Nzuli, and Pietrus. So 2 free throws to come as Fall making an immediate impact here in the game. See him just skying over the defense, able to find the cutter. Meanwhile, on the last possession, Fall, simple footwork on the block, little nice friendly roll. And here comes Quentin Serron off the bench, number 5, 6'3" shooting guard out of Belgium. As Pietrus can't hit the first free throw. So 1 for 2 for Florent Pietrus that time. Buva will come out of the game, and they're going to bring Robin Benzig, who has been very productive in 26 minutes of average. Well, averages 26 minutes of play, 13 points per game. So they know they can count on him for production. Meanwhile, Gibson attacks Serron, draws a foul. Fall just blocks it out of bounds to be safe. And that's the 3rd team foul on Strasbourg. You can see there, Serron gets his hand in the way. They run the little baseline screen for Gibson. And Benzing turns the corner. Alexander, another baseline shot. This time it falls. A nice bounce for Alexander. And he's got his first field goal. Oh, Collins, nice spin move. Or Green, should I say, to fall. His runner no good. Little leak out pass. Gibson gets away from the defense. Beautiful find from Alexander. And Gibson now with double his highest output. Again, he came in averaging 1 point per game. Already has 4 here in the first quarter. So Strasbourg calls their first timeout. You see the stats, Besiktas doing a lot of damage inside the arc. Meanwhile, Strasbourg really struggling shooting the ball. The rebounding numbers, which we're definitely going to pay attention throughout the game. You see Besiktas with the early advantage. In terms of rebounding, these are two teams that were pretty even at about 33 rebounds apiece. As you see the nice leak out there from Gibson. In terms of statistical advantages, again, the rebounding numbers pretty even, but the Besiktas squad has a deeper bench, average about 7 more points off the bench per game. And we'll see as they go to the bench here tonight if that goes into effect. So far, fall's been a nice little boost. We'll see if Serron provides something similar. Nice skip pass, and Zuli splits the double, gets into the lane, kicks it out. Green, long three. The buzzer is good as the shot clock expires. And Mike Green with his first basket of the game. Here's Turkey going through their offensive set. Ends up with a Sapahi over to Alexander. Double pump fake. Wants to take fall off the dribble. Pulls up. Too strong. Serron with the rebound. And the feed inside to Fall, who gets swatted by Alexander. But then Petrus right there for the putback. So Youssoufa Fall, who's from Senegal, but was recently granted French citizenship in March 2017. You can see him really athletic, running the floor in the last possession, but Alexander showing his athleticism. No foul call, a lot of contact. Looks like Alexander might have initiated. Meanwhile, Green with a beautiful find to Nzuli. They're unable to kind of get a shot off, but they reset. The high screen now, Green. Some good ball movement. Nzuli takes the long three, short. Benzing the rebound. And good hustle from Petrus, but no one there to support him. Gibson at the elbow. No good. Fall with another rebound. And Zuli looking to get into the lane, and it falls for him. Strong take that time by Jeremy and Zuli. Here comes Gibson. He's been aggressive early. Alexander as well takes another shot. Too strong yet again. So Alexander unable to connect on a couple of these jumpers. He's now just 1 for 5. Meanwhile, Green, a little bit of space. This three-pointer no good. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Besiktas with the 3-point lead. It's been a low-scoring affair so far. They said it'd be a race to 70. Might be a race to 60. Gibson Oh, good defense. The offensive foul drawn by Mike Green. Stepped into the path of Gibson. You'll see there, it took it right in the chest. Anticipated the pro hop coming from Gibson, and even Kyle Gibson has to help him up and appreciate a good defensive play. Meanwhile, Petrus will check out. And for the first time, so a couple of backup point guards in the game now. The young Ludovic Bayhurst will run down the clock. Game clock 1 second higher than shot clock, and Sapahi uses one of the fouls to give. You see there, Sapahi going for the little reach. Wants to stop the clock. 3 team fouls apiece. And we're also going to see Phil Pressey for the first time for these last 10 seconds. See what kind of instant impact Pressey can make defensively. He'll guard Bayhurst. Meanwhile, Seron will be the man to attack. Uses the screens. The corner 3 falls. Lefty jump shot is good. And that's Quentin Goulmy. Seron seems to have come down on his ankle. He's wincing in pain, but he's going to be all right. Meanwhile, Quentin Goulmy, just 2.5 points per game, but spots up with a wide open 3 there. You see the collision between Seron as he turns his ankle and Buva. So a painful 3 points to tie up the game here in the first quarter. Just 0.4 seconds left. Not that much time for Besiktas to get a shot off, but beautiful pass. Benzing almost made it a miracle play. And at the end of the first quarter, we are tied at 15 here in Istanbul. Besiktas Strasbourg, 15-15. So we'll take a look at some of the stats and then the highlights of that first quarter. Again, we knew scoring might be the biggest issue for these two teams. Besiktas comes in 24th in field goal shooting, but they managed to go 46% from 2, haven't knocked down a 3 yet. Meanwhile, the 3-pointers have been kind to Strasbourg, knocking down 2 in that opening stanza. They are shooting 36% from 2, however, but we knew Strasbourg, again, 41% shooting on the season, which is good enough for 3rd in the Basketball Champions League. So you live by the 3, you die by the 3. As we take a look at the highlights, Buva got things going. He has 4 points early on. Him and Gibson tied for the lead. Meanwhile, we've had 6 different players score for Strasbourg, but none of them with more than 3 points. The rebounding numbers are very even, 9 and 8. And we've had just 1 turnover by Besiktas, 3 so far for Strasbourg. So both teams shooting 6 for 15 from the field, which is consistent with obviously the score, as we are tied. Meanwhile, this is the first game in Group D, as the other 6 teams will be in action later tonight. So Strasbourg will have a chance to earn the top spot of Group D for a short period of time. Meanwhile, Jason Rich, who checked in at the end of that first quarter, number 34, once again getting his first action of the young PCL season. We'll see what play they come out of the timeout with. As Jason Rich, very aggressive, but was looking for Benzig, who was out of bounds. So Benzig didn't establish himself back inbounds before catching that ball, according to the referee, and it's a second turnover for Besiktas. Meanwhile, the backcourt pressure from Pressey on Bayhurst, as Besiktas looks to pick up the tempo a little bit, and Buva, the nice strip, but the ball will stay with Strasbourg. So a jump ball violation will keep the possession with Strasbourg. You see Pressy getting aggressive defensively. Still 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Nzuli, nice spin move, and he finishes at the rim. Nzuli, who's been a nice contributor off the bench, already with 4 points. Pressy finds Rich, the ball goes inside to Buva. And Besiktas really hasn't had that much room for an open shot until Benzig knocks down the three on the wing. So perfect timing there as Buva and Benzig play a little two-man game. Meanwhile, you see Sahon getting pressured by Khan Maxim Mutaf as Fall gets a beautiful pass from Nzuli, finishes right at the rim. Again, Fall, 7'3", able to really use his height to get away from the defense. Here's Mutaf. Little pass to Buva, and Fall contests. Might have got a piece of that. Comes away with the rebound. Meanwhile, Sahon draws a foul on Pressy. And Strasbourg now with a 1 point lead after the slow start. You see there, Pressy just preventing the fast break. Meanwhile, Nzuli, he's been filling it and knocks down the open three. So another field goal for Jeremy Nzuli. He's now leads the way with 7. See again the 3-point numbers. Strasbourg has used them. Meanwhile, Jason Rich looking to respond. No good. Sahon another rebound. His ankle must be okay after taking that little nasty fall in the first quarter. And they go inside to Fall. Double team looks to be coming. Another extra pass. It's Gumi. Another three-pointer. And that's going to lead to the timeout. Some great ball movement there from the French side as the ball goes inside, out, and then rotates to the open man. And they've now extended to a 7-point lead in the second quarter on the road here in Istanbul. So Coach Ivanovic will look to talk it over with his players. You see the field goal numbers, Strasbourg really heating up after what was a pretty slow start, especially from the three-point line. Strasbourg now with 4 3-pointers out of 6 attempts. And also 8 assists on their 10 field goals. Meanwhile, Besiktas has been more reliant on the post touches to Buva to run their offense, as well as some dribble penetration, which hasn't led to too many open looks, while Strasbourg has been more reliant on the ball movement. See a lot of baskets off the pass, and this last one here to Gumi, who is now 2 for 2 from both wings for 3. So Besiktas will look to turn things around. Sapahi back into the game. So it was a short stint there for Presley. Didn't really get a touch on offense. Meanwhile, Benzig gets into the lane and draws the and one. Robin Benzig showing the versatility. The big man, 6'10", able to put the ball on the ground, go through the defense, draw the foul, and finish. We'll have a chance to complete the three-point play from the foul line. Does just that and brings Besiktas back to 4. Here's Nzuli. He's been successful. Why not? Gets the lucky bounce. You see the perfect spin on that layup high off the glass over the big man Benzig. And Nzuli definitely been the player of the game here so far in the first half. Already with 9 points in just 8 minutes. Buva. Oh, nice lefty jump hook. That is not an easy shot with your weak hand. And Buva showing you how he gets to 17 points per game. Meanwhile, Serron over to Gumi. There's Bayhurst. Over to Nzuli. Quick pass inside. Traore has room. Knocks down the mid-range jump shot. And Strasbourg really clicking now. They've scored essentially on every possession of the second quarter, already with 14 points in not even 4 minutes. Jason Rich gets into the lane. He can't finish. Bayhurst the rebound amongst the trees. And Nzuli, nice little crossover. Spin move. And Gumi didn't touch it. Looked like Benzig deflected it out of bounds. We'll see Traore, who caught Buva off guard with that jump shot. Sapahi, who gets a lot of deflections throughout a game, does so again there with his long arms. A 6'3" guard. You see causing trouble for Bayhurst. And it's a near turnover. And Nzuli, not again. Oh, this time he does miss it. Almost a fortunate turn of events there for Strasbourg. Meanwhile, Mutaf inside to Benzing. And he tries to skip it over to Jason Rich, but Bayhurst deflects it out of bounds. So 11 seconds on the shot clock. And Nzuli will come out of the game alongside Gumi. And that's going to bring Collins back off the bench. And Nzuli, very, very good contributions. Meanwhile, Collins and Petrus, who have been, well, Collins has definitely been quiet here so far, but Petrus will look to continue to bring the energy he had in that first quarter. So the bench for Strasbourg so far has been the difference in building the 6-point lead. Rich will pick and roll, good movement. Benzing wide open corner three, knocks it down. And once again, the good offensive execution leads to an open shot. And when the basketball has energy like that, you can just expect it to fall. It's now a 3-point game as Traore works in the block against Buva. Finds Serron, who gets all the way to the cup, the lefty lay-in off the glass. And Mutaf was trailing the play, couldn't quite get back into defensive position. So Serron now with his first field goal. Bayhurst puts the pressure on. Sapah, he goes at him, good deflection. Bayhurst with the quick hands. Traore couldn't quite make the catch. So we're at the halfway mark of the second quarter. You see there, Sapahi with the good footwork. Bayhurst stays with the play. And Rich instructing everyone to get out so they can go inside to Buva. Two-man action. Buva drops that baseline push shot, no good. And that's going to be an offensive or rebounding foul, loose ball foul against Mutaf, trying to throw Serron out of the way. So first foul on Besiktas. And take another look at that Benzig three. A lot of space for the big man, who again has had a strong start to the Basketball Champions League season. And he's had a strong start here tonight. 9 points already for Benzing. Here's Traore. Serron gets into the lane again and was looking for Traore. Couldn't quite deliver the pass. You see the frustration. So Serron thought he had the man beat. And Bayhurst thrown to the ground by Sapahi. Some good ball pressure being put on by the backup point guard. Just 5'9", but big heart. Here's Rich on the baseline, squeezes through, finishes the left hand. Jason Rich finally with his first basket. He's back to the three-point game yet again. Bayhurst, nice find, and the two teammates go for the same pass. And they're going to call a foul in the backcourt on Bayhurst. Smart foul. There were other players back, so no free throws you see there. A little bit of a flop, perhaps. Sipahi lowers the shoulder on Bayhurst. See the two guards going at it. And this time, Bayhurst once again looking to slow down the fast break. So 31-28, just under 4 minutes to go in the second period. Sipahi, Jason Rich, Buva, Mutaf, and Benzing as Rich really attacking the basket. And no foul called, so good defensive help that time from Strasbourg. They'll look to add to their lead. On the upscreen, Collins comes away with it. Wants to pick from Traore. Collins pulls out for the jumper. High off the back rim, no good. Here comes Mutaf, nice move, and finishes at the basket. Khan Maxime Mutaf gets his first basket off the bench, and we're gonna have a timeout on the floor. So 31-30, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the second quarter. Second quarter action has been a little bit better offensively. It's now a 16-15 advantage in the quarter. Of course, it's been close throughout. Besiktas now shooting 46%, while Strasbourg is at 54%. So the shooting has definitely picked up. You see the top scorers, all three of those players off the bench for Strasbourg, and Zuli, Gumi, and Fall. So again, just a testament to just their bench production. 21 points in total for Strasbourg. Meanwhile, for Besiktas, their leading scorer also coming off the bench, Robin Benzing, with 9. And he has 9 of the 13 bench points for Besiktas. 2 of them came there from Mutaf, and Jason Rich with the other 2. You saw the nice little hesitation dribble, which froze Seron. And he was able to cross over again to the lane. That's a tough finish, going back against your momentum. Meanwhile, Bayhurst will stay in the game. Mike Green getting a long rest. Bayhurst, who's not really looking for his shot, just averaging 1.5 points per game in 15 minutes. Meanwhile, Traore goes right at Buva. His lefty shot, tough angle, and Mutaf comes away with a rebound. As Seron's going to pick up a foul on the reach. Mutaf made him lean one way with the jab step. You see there. And looking to attack the middle. Most defenses want to prevent that middle penetration. So Bayhurst and Traore come out the game. Lang and Fall back in. Lang, who is this team's leading scorer, 20 points per game. So far, still scoreless. And Mutaf goes right at him. Finishes yet again. So back-to-back impressive finishes. As Lang yet to take a shot in 6 minutes of action. Again, this is a guy who's taken 16 threes in 2 games. So we'll see if here he gets into the lane. The runner no good. Fall, another offensive rebound and put back for Youssoufa Fall. What a bright spot he's been. Sipahi has a little bit of room. Again, not really looking for his shot. Green back in, pressuring him. Buva faces the help side, and Fall collects the rebound off the glass. Marty Collins at the right spot that time. Here comes Green. Attacks Sipahi. Quick layup, no good. One of the fouls. Sipahi just said he got out of the way. Here's Mutaf, catch and shoot three in transition. And you can see Coach Ivanovic asking his players to slow it down. Collins now. He gets into the lane. Little Euro step. Too easy for Marty Collins. The 34-year-old veteran out of Temple. Able to coast his way all the way to the basket. Strasbourg back up 3. Just over a minute to go here in the half. We're going to have an off-the-ball foul on Nicholas Lang. That's the 4th team foul, so the next foul will be free throws. You see Ivanovic getting into the ear of Buva. Joe Alexander back in. Here's Mutaf, who's been very aggressive and successful in this second quarter. It's another bucket for him. So Khan Makshim Mutaf, it's 6 points now. Here's Green. Decides to pull out Petrus. Looking for Lang, just needs a little bit of room. Short on the 3, but guess who's there once again? It's Yusufa Fall, who's able to get the inside possession on the offensive rebound. And that's going to be a foul on either Alexander, or they're going to give it to Dusan Chantakin. Lang sets a screen on Fall's man. They go right inside to the big little drop step fadeaway. Good contest from Chantakin. And Vesiloglu tells his teammates, slow down. We're going to run one possession for one shot. You see the game clock 2 seconds ahead of the shot clock. Sipahi turns the corner. Nice lefty finish. And Sipahi gets another field goal. Meanwhile, Besiktas commits a foul in transition to get a chance to set up their defense. And also that last Sipahi layup gives Besiktas the 1-point lead with just under 5 seconds left here in the first half. You see the nice turn around the corner from Sipahi as Fall just couldn't quite stay with him. Meanwhile, here's Mike Green. Oh, the block from Joe Alexander. Vesiloglu. Woo. Seemed to be on the right track, but no good. So at the half, it's a 1-point lead for the home side. Besiktas here in Istanbul. Strasbourg playing a very good second quarter of basketball. Put 20 points on the board, but Besiktas at the end able to collect the 1-point lead thanks to a good run in the last couple of moments. They had a number of players step up there in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. Again, Benzing ends the first half with 9 points. You see the team stats. Besiktas doing more damage inside the arc. Strasbourg 4 threes beyond the arc. Only 2 free throws so far from Strasbourg. Meanwhile, Besiktas 4 for 5. The rebounding numbers in favor of Strasbourg as well as the assists. But they have had more turnovers. Besiktas just 2 of them. Strasbourg with 5. Meanwhile, neither team really in too much foul trouble. Sipahi does have 2 in that first half. No one else with more than 1. Benzig, 9 points to lead the way, and Zuli, another big contributor off the bench with 9 himself. And you see the 7 rebounds there for Fall. Meanwhile, Zuli leads them in scoring and assists in limited minutes. And you see the 2 blocks from Alexander and Fall apiece. So we said this game would be the first to 70. Right now, both teams just about halfway there. So they're on pace for around that score. Really do believe whoever can get to 70 first will probably win this game. We'll take a look at some of the highlights of that first half. A number of good plays. Buva got things going early for Besiktas. He comes in again averaging 17 points per game, but so far been relatively quiet. 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting and 1 rebound. Meanwhile, Kyle Gibson, who came in averaging 1 point per game, he's had a positive start. 4 points so far on 2 of 4. Phil Pressey, though, who obviously played in the NBA, played for the Boston Celtics, played at Barcelona last year. Out of Missouri, so far just 2.5 minutes and 1 foul. -10 on the box score in 2.5 minutes. So his plus minus not very favorable. Meanwhile, Yusufa Fall +12 and Zuli +13 off the bench. And those two guys really are the reason the Strasbourg are even in this game. Obviously had the lead for a moment there. Meanwhile, Alexander, he's done his thing. 1 of 5 shooting, but does have 4 rebounds and 2 blocks, as well as that beautiful pass up to Kyle Gibson in the first quarter. So it's been an even game so far. We've had 6 lead changes. Both teams leading for more than 8 minutes apiece. Obviously, Besiktas did have a 10-point lead for a moment. Strasbourg then enjoyed a 7-point advantage for a couple of moments. So we'll see how tightly played the second half is. Don't stray too far away from the game. We got 20 more minutes of action coming up very soon. So we are back live here in Istanbul, moments away from the second half, as Besiktas enjoys a slim 1-point lead over Strasbourg. Again, it's been a hotly contested battle so far, a very even game. The shooting numbers are quite close. At the moment, Besiktas shooting 47%, 15 for 32. And guess what? Strasbourg also 15 for 32. Both teams finished the first quarter shooting 6 for 15. So it's really been neck and neck all the way through. And we expected it coming in. Strasbourg averaged 74 points per game, which was 23rd out of 32 teams. Meanwhile, Besiktas not much better, 70.5 points per game, which is 27th. Strasbourg also had a slightly better shooting percentage at all three levels: free throws, inside the arc, 2-pointers, and then 3-pointers. So the fact that both teams are even is in Besiktas' favor. Besiktas also came in with 3 more fast break points per game and 5 more points off turnovers, but they also average more turnovers than Strasbourg, which has not been the case here tonight. Also, let's remember Besiktas came in having won 13 of their last 16 BCL home games, and usually they win relatively easy by double digits on 9 of those 13 wins. Meanwhile, a couple shuffles to the lineup. We see Quentin Serron will be starting the second half. Marty Collins coming off the bench. Also, Jeremy Nzuli gets the start in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Jason Rich will play alongside Sapahi and Gibson, and he's joined by Joe Alexander and Ivan Buba. So both coaches making small tweaks to their starting lineups. Youssoufa Fall also getting the nod over Traore, and he's joined by Petrus, Mike Green, and of course Nzuli and Serron. Here's Rich. Sapahi looking inside to Buva, and you can see that's a point of emphasis early on. Buva, another touch, another basket, overfall. So despite giving up a few inches, Buva able to use his strength as Alexander did a great job hedging, deflected the ball away, but gets called for the foul. So Green takes somewhat of a hard fall. Meanwhile, Buva, you see him use that arm to create a little bit of separation and just the fundamental finish. Green looking for the high-low. Petrus to fall, and it's going to be a goaltending violation. So 2 points on the board once again for Fall. He's now got 8. It's a nice pass there from Petrus. So both teams getting early field goals in the second half. As you can recall, it took a while for both teams to knock down the first field goal of the game. Meanwhile, Rich finds Buva, who almost travels, throws the ball away. Serron to steal. Mike Green, too much room, knocks down the 3. Jason Rich didn't even try to close out, pretty much daring Green to shoot, and he knocks down his second 3-pointer of the game. Meanwhile, Zuli trips over Rich. He's fortunate to not turn the ball over. Here's Sapahi, who does take a 3, and he knocks it down. So Kenan Sapahi, not usually aggressive with his shot, but was left wide open. Both teams now going back and forth offensively. So the half-time break working out so far. Here's Green again. Attacks Sapahi, finds Serron. They go back and forth. Green wants it. Looking to get Sapahi off his feet. Pulls up. Long 2 is good. Smooth move that time from Mike Green. And he knocks down another jumper. Starting to heat up. Back-to-back buckets for Green. Here's Rich now. Little hesitation. Buva pick and pop. The lefty long three. Can't connect. Rebound for Petrus. Strasbourg now with a 1-point lead. And the lob. Oh, what a touch pass. Smart foul from Jason Rich, but Petrus very attentive with the touch fine to fault. You see the lob was in the air for a while. Petrus saw Buva come over, and Jason Rich had to go get it. So Fall knocks down the first free throw. Two for two for Fall. And Alexander gets bumped. He'll head to the free throw line. So Alexander able to carve some good inside position. And Petrus was waiting for the help from Fault. Came a little bit too late, and he gets caught for the foul. So Alexander knocks down his free throw. He's now got 3 points on the night. Two for two for him. And that now puts Besiktas 6 for 7 overall from the free throw line. Still a 1-point lead for the French team. Serrant over to Green. Dancing with Sapahi again. Pulls up, tough shot, Fall. Almost gets the offensive rebound. You see Dusan Chantakin in the game again, number 17. 7'3" on 7'3", as Jason Rich goes up high and Chantakin able to tip it in. So he gets a warning for touching the ball after the made basket, but you see Rich has to go high to get it over Fall, and it would have been short, so Chantakin takes advantage, just kind of tip it in there finessely. Again, they're looking for the high-low. You see Fall battling for position on that block. And they have a foul here on the reach. Oh, it's a kickball for Alexander. And Fall draws a foul. So 2 more free throws to come for Fall. So 46-45. Fall now with 12 points, again off the bench. Here's Alexander facing off against Petrus. Gibson catch and shoot, no good. One of the foul call, and on the leak out, Serrant turns the corner, lays it in with the left. Not sure he was the intended target, obviously, but gets the uncontested lay-in regardless. Here's Gibson. Tough double clutch jumper. Serrant another rebound. Thought about pushing it out. Gives it out to Green instead. Here's Petrus. Little handoff, Seron pulls up with a 2 mid-range. Back-to-back buckets for Quentin Seron. And that leads to the timeout for Besiktas. So, the energy really picking up here in the third quarter. Both teams starting to find their rhythm offensively. And it's now a 5-point lead for Strasbourg. See the rebounding numbers in favor of Strasbourg. Meanwhile, Coach Ivanovic, who hails from Montenegro, 6'5", played had a very successful career basketball. One of his former teams, Fribourg Olympique in Switzerland, currently involved in the Basketball Champions League this season. Meanwhile, he's been the coach here at Besiktas for a short period of time after coaching in Kimki for a little bit. And Quentin Seron, the Belgian, really getting things going here in the second half. Rewards Coach Colette for the second half start with some impressive plays here the last couple of minutes. You see the defensive intensity also picking up for Strasbourg, pressuring the ball handlers. Here's Sapahi. Nice little pocket pass. Buva, lefty finish. And it's another basket for the big Croatian. Here's Enzuli now as Buva goes to double figures. Enzuli can't hit the pull-up jumper. Alexander, another rebound, his 5th. Sapahi and Buva look to go at it again. Sapahi takes a jumper this time, and Petras comes away with the rebound. So here's Enzuli, looks to get into the lane. They're going to call a hand check foul on Mutaf. As Enzuli got the step, and you see Mutaf trying to take away that space as Petras checks out of the game, and Marty Collins, who has been extremely quiet, comes back in. Ball, oh, lobs it in. And that's an alley-oop jam from Mustafa Fall off the pass from Marty Collins. Seemed like the ball was about to hit the rim, and Fall just throws it down. So, bit of an unorthodox alley-oop. And the 3 for Mike Green goes in and out. Here's Presley and Besiloglu, lefty runner, no good. Marty Collins coming back the other way. And good defense from Phil Pressey leads to the jump ball. Looks like the possession will stay with Strasbourg. It's the second time that Pressey's mixed it up and gotten his hands on the ball. Meanwhile, another angle on that alley-oop. Collins probably would have just made the shot if Fall hadn't touched it. Fadeaway, Marty Collins with a tough shot. Big bucket that time from Marty Collins. And Mutaf, who's been very good here tonight, hits a tough three-pointer. Mutaf looks extremely confident every time he touches the ball. Meanwhile, Mike Green able to draw a foul on Phil Pressey. And that's going to be 2 free throws. So Pressey, who wanted to put the pressure defensively, just a little bit too aggressive. Meanwhile, we see again Mutaf here, gets his feet squared up, and knocks down a good-looking jump shot as Saron checks out of the game, and that brings Bayhurst back in. So Green at the free throw line looking for points 9 and 10, as Robin Benzing also re-enters the fray, number 12 for Besiktas, who was their leading scorer in the first half. But now it's Buva with 10, and Mutaf and Benzing both with 9 apiece. Over for Strasbourg, Mike Green now double-digit with 10 points. But Youssoufa Fall, 14 points and 7 rebounds, has been their most dominant player. Traore on Buva, and they're going to call a foul. It's the second team foul on Strasbourg. Meanwhile, Ali Traore, who came in averaging 18.5 points per game, has taken just 4 shots tonight. Meanwhile, Nicholas Lang, 20 points per game, has taken 2 shots. So the 2 leading scorers haven't been involved here, and yet they still have a 6-point lead, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's Buva now, goes right at Traore, banks it in. Not an easy finish. Collins over to Lang. They're looking to get the shooter open. Gets the screen set for him. Besiloglu reaches in, and now Lang will head to the free throw line looking for his first points of the night. See Besiloglu gets a little bit too greedy defensively, and the 35-year-old vet should know better. Mike Green will get a rest. Last couple moments of the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Lang missing the first free throw. Came in shooting 75% from the line, just 3 of 4 overall. He goes 1 of 2 on this trip. So Lang finally sees the ball go through the net for the first time. We'll see if that gets him going, especially going into the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, as he battles inside with Besiloglu, they'll pick up another foul. See the free throw numbers for the quarter. Besiktas just 2 for 2. Strasbourg 7 for 8 as Besiloglu got the inside position on Lang. Here's Mutaf again. Once again, he knocks it in. He's been looking for his shot pretty much every touch. Delivers yet again. 5 of 7 on the night now as Mutaf for 11 points. And he came in averaging 8 points per game in just 17 minutes, so very efficient scorer. Meanwhile, Traore knocking down the baseline jumper. So good response there from Strasbourg. As Pressey looks to attack, able to get into the lane, but dribbles the ball off his foot. He's looking for Buva diving to the basket. You can see the breaking concentration here. Thought about the pass and dribbled off his foot, while Mutaf has been able to create space for himself. Looks really good here tonight. There's 9 turnovers combined here with both teams. Here's Collins. Gets Buva off his feet, runner no good, and the ball goes out of bounds. So Collins looking to go one-on-one for most of that possession, unsuccessful. And now 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Strasbourg up 5. And Pressy again gets into the lane. This time goes all the way to the basket. Finishes with a lay-in. Pressy using Bayhurst's pressure defense to his advantage. Here's Collins, hands it over, and Zuli. Good defense from Mutaf. Offensive foul drawn. What a way to slide your feet. Mutaf, who's been doing it all on offense, this time makes the defensive play. And Zuli using that left forearm to push off. Meanwhile, Pressy saw that last possession, able to go coast to coast. 14 seconds, and they're going to call. Just want to make sure that the floor is dry before they reset the game. So 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pressy, nice pass to Buva, fumbles it, can't finish. Still 1.6 left. Strasbourg will have a chance to make either a long pass or take a long shot. And Zuli to Bayhurst. Long heave was blocked there by Pressy. So after 3 quarters, Strasbourg now up 3 points, 59-56 over Besiktas on the road. So a very impressive third quarter of basketball there as Strasbourg puts 24 points on the board. And we're getting closer and closer to that magic number of 70. I just want to see if I'm right, honestly. At the Besiktas Akatlar Arena here in Istanbul. 10 more minutes to go as we take a look at the stats. Both teams still very, very even down the line. Overall now, Besiktas 23 for 47, 49%. Meanwhile, Strasbourg 23 for 45, which is 51% overall. You saw the three-pointers. You'd anticipate Strasbourg to take more threes considering they're shooting 5 for 11. Meanwhile, Besiktas 4 for 11, not far behind. We've seen so many three-pointers hoisted in this Basketball Champions League season so far. But tonight is not one of those games. Both teams looking to go inside. Besiktas playing through Buva. Meanwhile, as you see here on this particular play, meanwhile Strasbourg playing through Fall inside. Also, we saw Traore pick it up a little bit in that third quarter. Meanwhile, Mike Green, the veteran, the Basketball Champions League journeyman veteran, who has scored 47 points against Besiktas in 2 previous games, does have 10 here tonight. We'll see if he's able to get to that 20 mark again. As we take a look at the breakdown, points by quarter, it's been even pretty much throughout. 1 tied quarter, 1 in favor of Besiktas, 1 in favor of Strasbourg. But all that matters is who comes out on top here in the fourth quarter of this big Group D matchup. And we have an early whistle as Lang picks up another foul off the ball. So Mutaf will inbound. Buva played heavy minutes. And Benzik gets the ball deflected out of bounds by Collins. So 3 fouls now on Lang. Meanwhile, here's Mutaf again. Not much room. He was feeling, that was definitely a heat check shot. Almost fell for him. Besiktas applies the pressure. Here's Nzuli, little Euro, tough shot off the glass. And in the battle for the rebound, possession will stay with Strasbourg as Buva couldn't get 2 hands on it. So Nzuli doing a good job of getting Mutaf out of the play. Also staying with the shot. As Lang catch and shoot, well contested by Besiktas. And it's a big time stop there for Besiktas. As Pressy. Here's Mutaf. Oh, the pass is just too close between the 2 players. Mutaf and Buva couldn't finish the play, and it's a key turnover here. Just the 4th of the game. Should I say the 5th of the game for Besiktas. Fall comes back in. It's been so impressive. And Pressy rips Bayhurst. Little one-on-one. Besiktas draws a foul. So Phil Pressy and Bayhurst have been going back and forth, putting pressure on each other in the backcourt. And this time Pressy finds the right time to strip the ball away. Also unselfish, waits for the trailer. And the foul will go against Bayhurst, who's left on an island. You know, good effort trying to take the charge, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Besiktas missing the first free throw. So it's 1 for 2 from the line. So 57-59, just in the early parts here of the 4th quarter. You can imagine that Coach Colette wants to give Mike Green as much rest as possible before the final stretch. Meanwhile, Bayhurst, nice little crossover. The lefty pass off the dribble, and Zuli for 3. Rattles in and out. Buva, another strong rebound. Here's Pressy. Hitting Bayhurst once again. Intense one-on-one matchup. Mutaf doesn't need much space. Finds Besiktas, corner 3, no good. That would have given Besiktas the lead. Instead, another chance for Strasbourg to make this a 2-possession game. Bayhurst, he'll take the 3. No good. Traore fights for the rebound, and Mutaf comes away with it. Here's Benzik, who attacks the basket and draws a foul on Traore. So Benzik's been very quiet here in the second half. Good 2-man action between him and Pressy. Traore got a lot of the ball, but also caught some of the body. 2 free throws to come as Bayhurst checks out of the game. Mike Green re-enters. And Buva will get what I'm sure is a short rest. First free throw falls for Benzik. So both teams 8 for 10 from the free throw line here so far. And Benzik goes 2 for 2 on that trip. So now, finally, Pressy and Green matched up in the backcourt. Don't think we've seen that yet. Besiktas will go for the steal. Collins trying to split the double. They're going to call it kick ball. So the shot clock will reset to 14. See Collins, very ambitious, trying to fit through that narrow gap. And Benzik went for the steal. Collins now gets to the lane. Runner floats around, doesn't drop for him. And it's a tie game. Besiktas with the possession, a chance to take the lead. And the basket won't count. See Benzik, who went with a fake handoff and draws yet another foul on Traore. That's now 3 on him, so he'll come out, replaced by Florent Petrus. Long shot. Mutaf almost made it fall, though. Couldn't quite collect the rebound with 2 hands. And he gives another possession over to Besiktas. Here's Mutaf again, and he goes 0 for his last 2 threes. So neither team able to pull away just yet. Approaching 6.5 left in the fourth, as it looked like he was in a restricted circle. Petrus with a nice dive to the basket. And Phil Pressey will get called for the blocking foul. We'll take another look here. Oh, he was outside. So very tough call. Phil Pressey seemed to have been in the right spot. You see Coach Ivanovic just simply asking what else could he have done. Let's look one more time. Pressey, I mean, that's obviously a bang-bang play for the referee. Can't fault the effort by Pressey. Little guy gets in the way of the bigger Petrus. And we'll see if the basketball gods don't listen to Besiktas this time, as Petrus knocks down the first free throw. It gives Strasbourg back the 1-point lead. So converts on both. Pressey stays in the game. Serron also back in for Strasbourg. And he's matched up against Jason Rich. Meanwhile, Buva will look to attack Fall. He's patient. Nice footwork up and under. Very Kevin McHale-like. Gets the young Fall off his feet and finishes back with his preferred left hand. Looks like this game is going to go down to the final moments. Been so close throughout. 6 minutes left, 61-61. Gonna have a quick timeout here on the floor. In a game that's featured 14 lead changes. Strasbourg has had a 7-point lead earlier, but now we're still tied 61-61. In a game that where both teams have led for more than 10 minutes apiece. You don't see that all the time. Neither teams really put a dominant hold on the game. Again, we knew these would be two even teams in Group D. Take a look at the points in the paint, slightly in favor of Besiktas, but at 2-0, Strasbourg technically the favorite, despite obviously being on the road up against one of the juggernauts of Turkish basketball, Besiktas. He's had a lot of success with team in Besiktas that hasn't been below 500 for quite a while. Currently 1-2 in Turkish league, and obviously 1-1 in this league. But a lot of teams, media expect them to pick up momentum throughout the season. So Besiktas will look to inbound the ball, the chance to regain the lead. Before doing so, they're going to make sure that the floor is safe to play on. Coach Collet and his assistants discussing strategy. Meanwhile, on the floor they have Fall, Petrus, Serron, Collins, and Green. Meanwhile, for Besiktas, it's Vesiloglu, Buva, Pressey, Jason Rich, and Robin Benzing. So strong lineups out there for both teams. They go straight inside to Fall, who skips it over. Serron inside to Collins. Good double team. Green going to put up the three, contested. He knocks it down. Big shot there from Mike Green. Give him 3 of those on the night. And Mike Green, once again, a nemesis for Besiktas. Played here before with Pinar Karşıyaka. Meanwhile, Benzing will be able to pick up a foul on Serron. And that's going to be the 5th team foul, which will send Benzing to the free throw line. You see Serron just not much more he can do there defensively. I guess did use that right arm protection. Meanwhile, Green So effortless on the long-range shots for him. So Besiktas will be in the bonus the rest of the way, which means 2 free throws on any defensive foul by Strasbourg. And Benzing goes 2 for 2. So it's now just a 1-point game as Joe Alexander will come back in for Vesiloglu. See the 13 points for Benzing. And Phil Pressey able to draw a backcourt violation by putting tremendous ball pressure on Mike Green, forcing the turnover. Take another look here. Got his hand on the ball. And Mike Green not agreeing with the play, as it looked like his fingertips might have been in the backcourt. Very tough call, but again, home court advantage, as what a pass inside from Buva to Benzing. And guess what? 2 more free throws to come for the German, and the chance to regain the lead here at home. So they've obviously found a mismatch there. Benzing up against Collins. Collins is, I believe, 6'6". Benzing at 6'10", obviously just a bigger player. He's also been very, perfect from the free throw line. 6 for 6 now for Benzing. And I guess I jinxed him. He misses his first free throw. And of course, we're tied yet again. Meanwhile, here's Petrus. Over to Green, gets the high screen from Fall. Has room again, and knocks down the 3 yet again. Mike Green with 2 threes here in the 4th quarter. Once again, pushes the lead out to 3. And what a clutch player to have on your roster. Guy who's been here before, played in so many different arenas in Europe. Meanwhile, Fall frustrated. Second time that he couldn't quite grab the rebound, and he gives Besiktas yet another possession. So Collins checks out, and Zuli back in. Here's Petrus on Rich. Shot clock under 5. The ball slips out. Turnover. And Sahon smartly finds Mike Green to walk it up. Meanwhile, Pressey will look to put on the ball pressure. Joe Alexander goes for the trap. Near turnover. Green able to save it over to Nzuli. And now a bit of a mismatch. Green creating space. And Nzuli catch and shoot 3. Gets fouled. 3 free throws to come, and Zuli able to catch Phil Pressey just a little bit late, and 3 big free throws to come near the 4-minute mark here. You see the closeout from Pressey. He tried to avoid him, but it will be 3 free throws nonetheless. Meanwhile, we're seeing here, yep, looked like Petrus got his finger on the rim. That should have been a violation and an extra point for Besiktas. So the fact that Nzuli misses that free throw might just be karma. Two more to come here for Nzuli. Oh, for his first 2. So had a chance to make this a 6-point game, but now the best he can do is 4. You see Sapahi back in, replacing Phil Pressey. So Nzuli able to go 1 for 3 at the line. Meanwhile, Vesiloglu will come back in, replacing Joe Alexander. And they go to Rich. Looks to attack with Buva. He'll pull up at the elbow. Jason Rich, a big shot to cut the deficit in half. 68-66 now. The French team on the road in Istanbul in a hostile environment. And Jason Rich will pick up the foul, fourth team foul. So free throws from here on out, as it does look like Youssoufa Fall using his backside to create space. And take another look at that Jason Rich jumper. And they're going to call a warning for, a technical foul the next time. As Vesiloglu is crowding Mike Green's space. They're able to inbound it this time. It's Zuli, gets into the lane. Fall battles for the rebound, comes away with it, but a good strip from Rich. Meanwhile, Zuli in pain in the backcourt as Fall commits a silly foul, which will send Jason Rich to the line. Let's take another look here. You see three white jerseys battling. Make that four as Jason Rich comes into the shot. And he's able to draw a foul on Fall. So 2 free throws for Jason Rich and a chance to tie the game. Short on the first. So 1 for 2 for Rich. Meanwhile, Marty Collins, who comes in for Petrus, gives them another ball handler. And it looks like they have 4 ball handlers now on the court, 4 guards. And then Mustafa Fall, who they go inside to, 7-3 on the 6'9" Buva. Fall able to get around, and they're gonna count the basket. Get the continuation and 1 opportunity for Fall. So you see here, takes his time getting into the lane with a crab dribble. Foul occurs there and just steps through and finishes. So, and 1 opportunity for Fall. Another chance to make this a 2-possession game. And he makes the free throw. Fall now 5 for 5 from the line. 17 points and 10 rebounds for the big man to go with his 2 blocks. Off the bench, all of this, by the way. And he hadn't played in the Basketball Champions League before tonight. Let's remember that as Sapahi gets in some space. And once again, he looks like Fall altered the shot with his length. So Fall providing the size that this team was lacking in the first few games, as Gumi and Traore were the only 2 bigs. Gumi's obviously a shooter as Collins gets into the lane and hits the runner off the glass. It's now a 6-point lead as Coach Ivanovic calls a timeout. So 4th quarter execution going in favor of Strasbourg here so far. They make it a 14-11 advantage so far in scoring in the 4th. Meanwhile, Ivanovic will be looking to probably get the ball inside to Buva, who has 14 points, or Benzing, who also has 14.
Left, Robbie, something, you go down, looking, here, or shot for Robbie.
Into the left, the left. They are denying the right. They are denying the right.
Here, penetrate, looking pass for Robbie.
Over on the French side, Youssoufa Fall, 17 points, leads the way. Mike Green with 16 points, including 4 of 6 from 3. And then Nzuli with 10. Those are the 3 players in double figures. You see there the double-double 4 fall. They also have 19 assists on 27 baskets. And this N1, which caught a lot of people by surprise, the fact that he was awarded the continuation. That is something that the referees have been allowing more and more. Meanwhile, Rich skips it over to Sapahi, finds Buva inside. He's been in there for quite a while, and he gets the lefty jump hook. So obviously still plenty of time. 73-69. Nearing the 2-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Benzing finds himself guarding Collins, given his 4-guard lineup. He goes for the high pick. Ball goes inside to Fall, who fakes the pass, a little bit out of his range there with the shot. Buva had his head turned. Meanwhile, Rich throws it away. Sahon, breakaway opportunity, and he finishes at the basket. Ivanovic puts his face in his hands. Can't believe that turnover. So untimely. And the lead is back out to 6. 75-69. Meanwhile, Green on Rich. Buva hands it off to Vesiloglu. His runner is good. Nice shot that time from Vesiloglu. 80 seconds left, 4-point game. They look to trap in the backcourt. A tough, dangerous pass. And Benzing undercuts Mike Green. And they're going to call, obviously, the foul. Green will head to the free throw line. Benzing had a chance to get there, just a fraction of a second too late. We'll take another look at that Vesiloglu push shot. Meanwhile, Sahon, right place, right time, gets the steal, has the breakaway speed to create the separation from Sapahi. And a nice little finish as Green knocks down the free throw. So Strasbourg now has a chance to get a big win on the road, courtesy of a few more stops, up 6. And no one on the floor has hit a 3 for Besiktas. But Benzing will look to, well, actually Benzing did hit that one corner 3 in the first half, but he's unable to hit that one. Collins over to Sahon. And he finds Green. Obviously, Strasbourg happy to use up as much clock as possible. Still 10 seconds on the shot clock. They go for the trap. The pass to Nzuli. Sahon over back to Nzuli. Corner 3 could be the dagger. No good. Fall. Contests the rebound, and the possession will stay with Strasbourg. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. And look at that elevation from Sahon. So athletic, the Belgian. Represent. Meanwhile, Collins will inbound, finds Sahon, dribbles it back out, leaves his feet dangerously. Collins fortunately the right spot, and they call a intentional foul on Jason Rich. You see he's not happy, but yep, didn't make a play on the ball. So it will be 2 free throws and the possession. You see Jason Rich not happy. Meanwhile, Marty Collins knocks down the first free throw. So 1 for 2 for Collins. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor as Besiktas down 7 at home here in Group D of the Basketball Champions League, as Strasbourg looking for their second road victory here in 3 games. So we'll see Coach Collet, who's done a great job at the half. They were the first team of 70. They've now have 78, which is above their average. Up 19-15 here in the fourth quarter. You see their top scorers fall, 17, Green 18, and Zuli with 10. Meanwhile, for Besiktas, Buva, Benzing, and Mutaf. And time really against Besiktas now, down 7 with 19 seconds left. So Strasbourg still has the ball after that unsportsmanlike foul. And they get the ball inside to Soron. And they're not gonna foul. You see Coach Ivanovic not happy. Soron will just put up a shot as the shot clock runs out. Hits the rim. And Besiktas will look to get some points on the board. No go. Mike Green gets the rebound. This game's over. Strasbourg victorious in Istanbul over Besiktas, 78-71. It's a third consecutive win to start the season for Strasbourg. Meanwhile, Besiktas fall to 1-2 in Group D. So big win here. Coach Ivanovic having a quick conversation with the referees. Meanwhile, Strasbourg, who got off to a slow start, but after the first 5 minutes or so, we're pretty much in control of this game despite being thousands of miles away from France. They were very consistent. Mike Green picked it up in the fourth quarter, hit 2 big threes. Youssoufa Fall was their big man inside, finishing 17 points and 10 rebounds.
Değerli izleyiciler, Vincent Collet ile birlikteyiz. Dear coach, how do you
So we see here Vincent Collet get his thoughts.
It was a tight game.
We started the game very bad, but after 5-6 minutes we started to play much better. We had a very good moment in second quarter to take the lead, but finished bad the half. Second half we play things better, very smart. And Mike Green was coming out of the bench. He was much better than first half. He made big shots that changed the situation. For us, the comeback from foul is team is completely different because he not only score in offense but defensively he is a real problem for opponents.
I asked Ali Traore before the game, what are the expectations of the team in this tournament? What are the expectations of the team?
First of all, for sure to qualify. So the win here after winning in Ljubljana 2 weeks ago, it's already a good step. But after, you know, it's a elimination game, so it's so much different. Last year we beat AEK Athens twice in the group, and they had a different team for qualification, for elimination round. Two of the best players with Hunter and Punter. So difficult to say, but we want to go as far as possible for sure.
Thanks coach, congratulations. Değerli izleyiciler, ilk olarak hocaya bu maçla ilgili düşüncelerini sordum. 3 karşılaşma.
So you see the stats for the game. Major win here for Strasbourg as we got Coach Collet's thoughts. See the leading scores for both teams, 18 and 17 for Green and Fall respectively. Meanwhile, Buva with 16, Benzing with 14, and Besiktas, who fall to 1-2 despite shooting 27 for 59, 46%. And that one extra basket for Strasbourg, they go 28 for 59. Again, we knew this game would be very, very close, very even. Strasbourg, they get a +9 rebounding advantage. And you see the updated standings ahead of tonight's later games. It's Bologna will have a chance to move to 3-0 as they play against Petro Olympia. So in Group D, Strasbourg surprising a few people perhaps. It's one of the tougher groups, a lot of good teams from a number of different countries, but they were able to come to Istanbul here tonight, get a big victory. Meanwhile, they will head back to France to play out their Pro A domestic games, and then they will head to Neptunas Kaplaida next week as we take a look at some of the highlights. Meanwhile, for Besiktas, after losing to Neptunus Klaipėda last week, and then obviously losing here tonight at home, they will be back in action also next Wednesday in Group D as they face off against Prometheus Patras in Greece. And it was a tough game for this home crowd. And that big play there from Sahon. We got a number of kind of easy layups to get things going. Kind of break this game open for Strasbourg.